Welcome to the RadioU podcast. I'm Hudson.
And I'm Allie.
Coming up, what happens when you stop taking Ozempic?
Also, can you be arrested if you conceal that you're bald?
All that and more on the way next. A new survey shows Gen Z isn't budgeting anymore. We're surviving. 8772 RadioU. This was done by Talker Research, and in this world where inflation is running rampant, we talked about it earlier this week, how more people are doing financial New Year's resolutions than ever because nobody can afford anything.
Yep.
According to this survey of Gen Z workers, we feel the most stuck in financial survival mode. Over 2/3 of Gen Z do not believe they'll ever retire.
Wow.
Which I totally get that.
I do too. That's so sad.
First of all, I just hope I live that long. But secondly, if I do, I don't know how long I would have to live to be able to retire.
Yeah, that, and also I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty with just like the financial future of our country. Like it's just, there's just so many variables.
This has nothing to do with me personally, but I don't really know how Social Security works, but I'm kind of worried about it.
I'm certainly worried about it as well, and I also don't know how it works.
I just hope they figure it out in the next 40-ish years.
Yeah.
So that there's actually money in it, because I'm assuming I need that.
Yes.
Also, according to this survey, more than half of Gen Z that was surveyed say they have less than an hour of free time per day. That sounds pretty standard, though.
Yeah.
But what's most crazy, I think, to me about this survey was the things that people have claimed. They the percentage of people that have claimed they're doing this kind of stuff to save money. For example, taking short or cold showers to cut money in utility costs.
Wow.
Also, cooking at home. Okay, that's just smart, actually. Shopping at discount stores. Again, smart. Cutting your own hair. I
haven't cut my own hair. Like, I don't do that, but I do have my sister-in-law cut my hair for me, because it's so expensive to get your hair done as a woman.
Yeah,
it's so expensive.
I do what I can to maintain my hair at home too, because it's expensive to go to a barber, and it's hard to find one that you're comfortable with too. And so then it's like, I'll almost rather look bad than than endure half an hour of awkward conversation and then not be happy with it, and then have to still walk away anyways.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Other things we've done: air dry clothes to avoid paying for using a dryer.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think is the most extreme thing you've ever done to save money?
I don't know if I have anything extreme on this list. I do know when it's right now it's winter time. I keep my thermostat at 68. For some people, that might be considered too low, but I just prefer to keep it low so that it's not running all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. 68, I still feel like that's fairly reasonable.
Well,
And in the summertime, that's what a lot of people set it to. So.
Yeah, I don't set it that low in the summer. In the summer, it's 72. But for me, I'm so cold all the time. 68 is the lowest I could put it. And then I just bundle up at home.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because I do feel like I kind of, there's so many things that I feel like I've picked up over the years that are here's a little way you can save money.
Yeah.
That they've all kind of become habits to this point.
Okay.
That I don't even know if they're extreme or not.
Yeah.
So I don't even know, but I don't know. 8772 RadioU, but this definitely rings true to me. That's just how are you're just trying to be able to afford your bills. Forget about being able to actually save money and retire one day.
Exactly.
When you're in your 20s. But my question was, do you think that this is unique to Gen Z now, or is every group of 20-year-olds in the last 100 years all gone through this?
I think every group of 20-year-olds, once they realize what bills actually cost, they do have a rude awakening. We all remember our dads yelling at us, "Stop messing with the lights and leaving the lights on in these rooms when you're not in there. Like, turn the lights off. Our dads were saying that to us because of the electric bill that we didn't have to pay. Mm-hmm. So I do think there is something to that. When you become an adult, you become aware of the bills that suddenly you are responsible for. Mm-hmm. But I do think it's worse off for us than it was for our parents. It
definitely feels like it, right?
At least my parents have described that to me. You know, like housing prices, rent, all of those things, gas, like everything has gone up compared to what they paid for.
And like, this is maybe not a great way to judge things, but if you go back and watch like old movies from like the 50s or whatever, and it's teenagers, none of them are like, oh, I'm staying in tonight because I can't afford to go out. Or you know what I mean? Like, they're not asking, can you get this one? Because they're just all like, hey, here's a nickel. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Here's a nickel.
It's just a totally different vibe. Yep. And I know those are movies, but our movies are kind of realistic sometimes. And so I feel like maybe it is a good barometer. Shout out to anyone who's running on a little less sleep than normal because they stayed up to watch Miami beat Ole Miss last night. 8772 Radio U. But if you did, you know it was worth it. It was a thriller in the college football playoff semifinal last night. Miami got the win 31-27. So they move on to the final to take on either Indiana or Oregon, whoever wins tonight. And it was one of those weird games, which like you love to actually see it, where nobody made a big mistake. Like the better team just eventually won, but also in the constraints of time, like if Ole Miss had another minute, they would have taken the lead and probably won. Yeah. And it was just like
whoever has the ball last is coming out on top.
I mean, Ole Miss did have the ball last, and they just ran out of time. I said when I was watching it with Mrs. Hudson, Miami scored the touchdown to take the lead, 31-27. I think there was 18 seconds left.
Oh, my.
Ole Miss did have a timeout, but I'm like, that is not a lot of time to go the full length of the field. That is, that's like Patrick Mahomes versus the Bills type stuff.
Yeah.
And Trinidad Chambliss was amazing. He got Ole Miss in position to have a shot. It wasn't even like Hail Mary. It was like they were 30, 40 yards away.
Wow.
So they had a legitimate shot, and just on that last play as time expired, couldn't get it done. But it was just, you expect like on a lot of games, there's always somebody that seems to make a big throw a bad interception or take a bad penalty, or there was a call missed or something like this, that it's like, and this is why the game wound up like it did. And it's just everybody played more or less great.
Yeah.
No big mistakes were made, and it was just the better team eventually won out.
The run that Miami's going on currently, they're in the national championship game. Imagine, Hudson, if they do indeed come out on top. Mm-hmm. We thought last year Ohio State was a historic run, and it was. But this would be even more historic, in my opinion, because Miami was so close to being left out of the college football playoff. In fact, all year throughout the picture, they had kind of been in it, but everybody was like giving this like asterisk, like, well, they're in it, but they're as a placeholder. Really, their chances are slim to none that they'll make the playoff. And then the committee found a way to get them in my opinion, rightfully so. Mm-hmm. Like, I think they did deserve to be in, but a lot of people thought they shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And look at the run that they've gone on. They have shown everyone that they deserved to be there. They are obviously one of the best teams. And so this has been an incredible run for Miami. If they finish it out with a national championship, like, this is truly one of the most historic runs we've ever seen.
Yeah.
But my question is, are we going to see this every year? Like, is there a team coming? I mean, they're the 10 seed. Last year, I think Ohio State was the 8 seed.
Yeah.
Are we going to see a team come from this, like, back, lower seed, come out and just like go on this magical run?
I think it's definitely a possibility because of how spread out the talent is.
Yeah.
It really used to be Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State had like, just
massive advantage.
A tower of talent compared to even the other good teams.
Right.
And now it's spread out. So it's not like you're Miami going into a game against Ohio State where you're totally outmanned.
Right.
You might be at a bit of a disadvantage, but that can be overcome. And so that's what I feel like that's what we're seeing. And so that opens the door for this. Meanwhile, Notre Dame's got to be at home shaking their fists all and just being like, imagine you don't even know what we could have done. But also shout out to Ole Miss. I mean, just like the run that they went on was incredible too.
Absolutely. And they were so close to winning that game. So we could be saying all the same things we're saying about Miami, about Ole Miss. So, and this could all be a moot point if Indiana or Oregon come out and blow Miami out of the water. But just to make it to the national championship game after so many people wrote you off and said you weren't going to go anywhere, you weren't even going to make the playoff, it's incredible.
Yeah. And we need to normalize that just because if you don't win a championship, it doesn't mean it's not an amazing season.
Yes, absolutely.
And for Miami, and this is like what the beauty of the playoff is that Miami, if there was no playoff or it was 4 teams, they would have just gotten some stupid bowl game that nobody cares about. And instead, they've now had 3 incredible games for their fans that they've gotten to enjoy, even though last night really would have taken a toll on your heart, I'm sure, if you're actually a Miami fan. But even if they don't wind up winning it all, like, this is still an incredible season. The same for Ole Miss. You lost your coach. He left you. He abandoned you going into the playoff, and you still went on a great run.
And Trinidad and Kwan are coming back next year. Ole Miss fans, you have nothing but to celebrate.
It's love them or leave them on Radio U Mornings. 8772 Radio U. Share your advice for this situation. We have a gal who says, I've been with my boyfriend for about a year. We spend most of our time together and have been on 2 big international trips already. Can't hide money. He also uses Instagram regularly, but hasn't made a post in the time we've been together.
Interesting.
So he hasn't posted in almost a year.
Okay.
I have posted pictures of us together on my account many times. The other day, though, he mentioned that he never posts girlfriends because that's private. Even though a previous recap from years ago, there was a pic of him with one of his exes. He recently posted his yearly recap photo carousel. And I wasn't included.
Oh.
Even though we've done a lot of things together. I feel really hurt about it, but he thinks I'm overreacting. He's introduced me to all of his friends and includes me in most of his social events, so I'm not a secret, although he still hasn't introduced me to his family and seems a little cautious about doing so anytime soon. Am I overreacting to my boyfriend not including me in his yearly Instagram recap? 8772 Radio U.
Hashtag 2025 relationship or 2026 relationship problems.
Yeah, now we need some good advice for this love him or leave him situation. How can we help this girl out? Because this could be dicey.
It could be.
This could be some sus behavior, or maybe not a big deal. Let us know what you think. 8772 Radio U. Get your thoughts in for this love 'em or leave 'em, and we'll see what people are saying coming up. We have a love 'em or leave 'em situation here. You can share your advice at 8772 Radio U. We need your help, but more importantly, this woman needs your help, who has said basically her and her boyfriend have been together for about a year. They do everything together. She posts on Instagram a lot. He posts, it sounds like, about once a year, but he just posted his yearly recap on Instagram, and she's not in any of the photos. And he says it's because girlfriends are private. She said, I think it's important to note that she says that he's met, or she knows most of his friends, like they've come in contact, he's introduced me, but she hasn't met his family yet.
Yeah, and he doesn't seem very like, you're going to meet them soon. It's like he doesn't want you to meet them.
8772 Radio U. What do we do, Allie?
Well, we heard from Chad. He says he thinks that this girl is overreacting a bit to the Instagram issue. Spending actual time together is what builds a relationship. However, she is not overreacting when it comes to meeting his family. A year and she hasn't been introduced. That's a little sus.
Yeah, I agree with that. Although I do leave some space for the idea that maybe his family sucks.
They could be toxic.
Yeah, maybe he does not like introducing any girlfriend to them, or maybe he doesn't want you to have to deal with that. You know what I mean?
And that might be some context we're missing here from her, is if he has shared that, maybe like...
Yeah, I feel like she might have included that.
Yeah.
Or not included the family thing if
there was a legitimate reason.
Yeah.
So if maybe there is a legitimate reason, maybe continually ask him about that, and maybe then that truth will come out. Like, hey, it's not that I don't want you to meet my family. It's just like, I'm saving you from meeting my family.
Yeah. But just On the whole, though, a year and not meeting the family, a little unusual.
Yeah, a little alarming.
To say the least.
Yeah.
We heard from Petra, who says, not meeting his family after a year is insane. Ask him if he's trying to hide you for some reason. Maybe he has a good reason, but it's hard for me to think of one.
Yeah, Susanna says the same thing. She says, no family is a bit red flaggy. I like that description.
Evan says, yeah, he's not going to want anyone to see you on his Instagram when you're broken up next year.
That's straight to the heart right there.
That could be a leap. He'd only it sounds like he only posts a yearly recap and nothing in between.
Yeah. We heard from Henry. He says, it's weird he won't introduce you to his family. Has he given a reason? I don't think you're overreacting in the circumstance. He posted a bunch of friends and family in those selection of photos. If it's all scenery and food, then maybe he could get away with not posting you.
Yeah, that is true. I feel like, can you give us his Instagram so we can see the rest of the post?
Can we stalk you guys?
Yeah. What's the takeaway now, Allie?
I don't think it's a leave him yet.
Yeah.
But I do think you need to be on high alert that this guy could be hiding you from his family because he just is not. He's not thinking long term with you. Mm-hmm. He's thinking this is more of just a fling.
Sure.
So I would be very guard your heart because you don't want to be heartbroken over this guy that wasn't taking you seriously. But I would also say communication is key. Mm-hmm. And if you're feeling like you want this relationship to be very serious and potentially have a future of marrying this guy, then you need to start kind of laying the groundwork for those feelings now so that he knows that's where you see this going, mm-hmm. and you want to meet his family. And if he is that's not where I see this going, then it's just better for you guys to part ways now.
Yeah, for
than
sure.
for you to be heartbroken down the line.
Yeah, and I don't want to have this whole thing be give you a bunch of things to worry about that may not be true.
Yeah.
But even though you know all of his friends, you haven't been introduced to his family, maybe the reason that it's not because he's cheating on you, because it doesn't sound like that's really legitimate, but that he doesn't want maybe an ex to see, that he's in a relationship because maybe he still has feelings for somebody else even after a year.
Yeah.
Something to just keep in the back of your mind that you can you don't have to straight up ask him that, but that you can probably suss out by having some other kind of conversations with him about why didn't you post me? Why haven't you introduced me to your family? And ask more of these questions.
Yeah.
Not in an interrogative way.
Just open communication.
Yeah, but y'all should be able to just talk about Instagram posts and stuff.
Right, I care about this relationship and these are genuine concerns I have. I don't think there's any problem with bringing that up.
If you have a love them or leave them situation you need help with, we're always here to help. Email mornings@radiou.com.
A recent NASA-planned spacewalk has been canceled.
No!
Yes. On the ISS, the International Space Station, a scheduled spacewalk was canceled, and that is due to a medical issue affecting an unidentified astronaut aboard the ISS.
There's an unidentified astronaut on the ISS?
We don't know the identity.
That's concerning.
NASA knows the identity. But it's prompted a change in their operations for this crew, which I believe is NASA Crew 11, a 4-member crew. And they are actually not only canceling this planned spacewalk, but planning to bring this 4-member crew home early.
No!
Yeah, they're canceling their mission entirely.
All of them?
All 4 of them. And they described that this potential, early return is just precautionary. It's due to a medical issue for this non-disclosed astronaut. It's not emergency, but they are just, erring on the side of caution.
You can't be too careful, of course.
And because on the ISS, medical resources are quite limited, they don't want something to get worse. But again, we don't know exactly what that is. But if this is carried out, this would be a rather rare and historic event because there's never been a medical evacuation from the ISS before. But all this made me think of, Hudson.
Oh, no.
Remember when there was 2 astronauts that were abandoned,
yes,
stuck on the ISS for almost a year?
Yes, I do. Very clearly.
What happened to, let's plan a mission to get them off? Like, eventually they did get off. I think it took them 9 months to get home.
Yeah.
But it's like this. They're like, yeah, we're going to try and get these guys out as soon as possible. It's not.
Well, you know what soon as possible means? It means
it's 9 months later, right?
Yeah, right. It's going to be my birthday in October where they finally return.
Right. Well, all I know is I'm just thinking to myself, if I was an astronaut and I got stuck on there, I was only supposed to be there for a week, and I got stuck on the ISS for 9 months. And you're telling me you can turn this around within a month and get these guys home. I would be livid.
Yeah, thoroughly upset. That feels like a big slap in the face to me. You wasted 9 months of my life.
Right.
Where can you sue them is a question I would ask.
I don't think the astronauts would sue them. Again, the astronauts that got abandoned there, it wasn't an emergency. There was no medical problem. So I guess this is technically different. But all I'm seeing here is that you're telling me you could have done it sooner.
If I'm stuck in space, I'm sorry, that's always an emergency.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm just saying, because of this medical emergency, which is not an emergency, but it's just a medical precautionary move, you're telling me you could plan this within a couple weeks to get people out of there.
One of the other astronauts that were stranded when that happened, what was that, a year or two ago?
Yeah, it was
should have just been oh, my heart! Help me!
This is how we know how to get off of the ISS.
Any future astronauts, take note.
Yep.
That this is, you don't even have to do something extreme. Just be oh, I think I've got an ingrown toenail. Please, I'm going to have to come home.
It's we don't have the medical supplies for this.
Yeah.
Gotta bring them back.
I do feel, who else should be upset is the other 3 astronauts.
Yeah, they have to come home early too.
This is when you go on vacation and your brother gets sick and then it's now we can't do anything. We're staying at grandma's house and we're not leaving, or we're staying at the hotel and we're not going to Six Flags or whatever it is because Johnny's throwing up.
Oh my gosh.
And it's you're ruining the whole vacation. The rest of us are fine.
Yeah.
Also, of course, we, it's not a medical emergency, but it is an issue, but we still hope whoever it is dealing with this the best. But is there a possibility, doesn't this sound like the beginning of Alien or something like that?
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Some type of thing is going wrong.
What if they've gotten infected?
He's got a temperature.
Right. They're not quite sure what it is. Everything, he's just kind of experiencing some weird symptoms, unexplainable.
Yeah.
And maybe we don't want this person coming back, is what I'm saying. Maybe.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the one-way route to Xenomorph.
It definitely feels like this could be the beginning of a sci-fi movie where the world ends.
Uh-oh.
Coming to Florida in 2026, the state is going to get its very first Nude grocery store.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Opening up in Miami, a nude grocery store that's offering organic groceries, fresh groceries, is opening up to the public for the very first time. People are excited. It's coming to Miami.
Oh, this is disgusting. This is disgusting.
I think that people are saying that's the problem with food these days, is it's not healthy enough. You don't know where it's coming from, what's in it. But this Nude grocery store opening at 1100 Brickell Bay Drive in Miami says it's going to reset the standard for how Miami shops.
Are you trying to pull a fast one on us, Hudson?
No.
I'm looking at this post here of this Nude grocery store, and these people are fully clothed.
But
fully clothed.
It's in the name. It's Nude Miami grocery store.
You made it seem like this was going to be like a nude beach. Like people showing up naked.
I didn't say that.
You made it seem like that. It was implied.
Florida's getting its first nude grocery store, and that is true. This is the first nude grocery store to open in Miami.
The implication is there. And that's not what this is, guys.
Hey, I didn't name it.
Yeah, well, they definitely know what they're doing with their marketing. But all I have to say is the picture of like the founders or whatever, whoever owns this, is fully clothed. fully clothed. You are fine to go to this grocery store. You don't need to worry about running into anyone that is going to be naked.
I don't know. It is Florida.
Yeah, but
So you
I
just
would
never
imagine
know.
if you would show up to anywhere that's not a nude beach in the nude, you could get the police called on you for indecent exposure.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. But why do they call it nude then if you're not supposed to go nude?
I suppose it's because they're doing the whole like organic thing and like, oh, these things are like a stripped down to their bones. It's what comes in nature and not all the preservatives and all of the other things that get added to it.
If that's what they're doing with the food, then shouldn't that also be the way that you attend the nude grocery store?
So you do want this to be
I
a
didn't
nude
say I
grocery
wanted
store.
it. I'm just saying, why name it that? When people think nude, what do they think? Do they
I
think
thought you were talking about people being naked.
Exactly.
That's why I was disgusted because I was like, I don't want to shop for tomatoes next to somebody that is completely naked. No, thank you.
There's so many examples you could have used. I'm agreeing with you that they called it nude, and so when I'm seeing nude, I'm not thinking organic.
100%.
I'm not thinking clean and fresh,
No.
and healthy and better for you. I'm thinking you don't wear clothes.
Yes, and I don't like that.
And it's not clear. And yet again, I think it's compounded by the fact that this is in Florida. And so I feel like it's really easy for people to take it what I assume is the wrong way, even though it seems to be the normal way based off of us. When I'm seeing nude grocery store, I'm thinking nakedness.
It's Florida. There's Florida man there. Florida man is going to show up completely in the nude, and he'll be so confused.
Yeah.
And honestly,
And he probably
rightfully
can
so.
sue. He can sue the
Yes.
grocery store.
He could be like, I was misled.
It said on the sign nude. I thought that meant
it was a
finally
nude.
I had a home for people like me to shop for groceries freely.
Yeah.
And apparently not.
Nope.
Apparently not. We finally have an answer to a question that I know you've asked here on the show before, Allie. What happens when you stop taking Ozempic?
I am so glad somebody's looked into this because this truly is a question that has bugged me.
Yeah, 8772 RadioU, the new research that was done by the University of Oxford looked at almost 10,000 people who used obesity drugs like Ozempic to lose weight. What they found is that once people stop taking them, the weight usually comes back.
Yep.
Often faster than because it's typical if you go on a diet or exercise to lose weight as well and you stop, it's also typical to gain the weight back.
Yep.
But with Ozempic, it was even faster if you stop taking it. On average, people regained about a pound per month.
Wow.
And within about 2 years, most people are back to where they started.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel that great. They say researchers say the obesity is a chronic condition, so stopping treatment without a long-term plan usually doesn't work. In other words, starting Ozempic is like getting a Planet Fitness membership. Once you start, you can never stop.
Yeah.
You can check in, but you can never leave.
Do you remember the show that was on in the early 2000s called Biggest Loser?
Yeah.
I thought the format of that show was really kind of awful, but but it was all about losing weight, and people that were obese would be on the show. But what I remembered, kind of like, I would see online posts after the show would be done, and people mentioned how those that had those great transformations on the show lost a whole bunch of weight, like sometimes talking about hundreds of pounds.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. But they would then get off of the show, gain that weight back, and sometimes more, and so be in an even worse position than when they started on that show. And so that kind of same thought process happened when I was thinking about Ozempic, like what happens when you stop taking it? Because it's like if you become reliant on losing weight in a way that, in my opinion, could sometimes be considered like a trick or like a unhealthy way to lose weight, it's like as soon as you stop that thing, there's nothing stopping you from like gaining all of that back and maybe even being in a worse position than when you started.
Or even more simply, if you... Like we all have kind of as when you grow up and become an adult, you have like a baseline weight that's like normally what you would be.
Yeah.
And if you could go on, whether it's a diet or Ozempic or whatever it is, something that's temporary that you go on, unless you have healthy habits that are going to keep you at your lower weight.
Yeah.
If you stop doing the thing that got you down to that weight in the first place and you don't have habits to kind of maintain that weight that you're at, you're going to bounce back to what you were before.
That's the problem with all of these programs, Weight Watchers, like literally anything that changes your entire system, but then you stop it. As soon as you stop it, the weight comes back.
Yeah.
And so that's just like, that's not a good way to get healthy. It's not a good way to lose weight.
The way I understand it, the simplest thing with Ozempic is like it, more or less, it suppresses your appetite.
Yes.
But what I found and this happens when you diet too, is eventually you get to the point in your diet where you're like, if you're, just eating less or whatever it is, you get used to it.
If you're on a calorie deficit.
But then once you stop and the first few days that you're going back to normal, you're still going to eat the less amount.
Yeah.
But eventually you get back to like food is good.
Yeah.
And eventually you get back to like just eating what you want as much as you want.
Right.
And so, so the same thing would happen with Ozempic. It doesn't permanently change your appetite. And when you go back to eating the way you were before you started taking it, you're going to get back to the way you were before. So it is sad. So now the question is it worth about $200 a month for the rest of your life?
Right.
To be whatever the weight is you can get with Ozempic.
Well, that's what celebrities do.
We're just talking about a new study out of the University of Oxford that unfortunately has found that if you stop taking Ozempic or any of the other, weight loss drugs that everybody seems to be on now, much like with any other diet or weight loss plan, once you stop doing it, the weight comes back and it comes back pretty fast.
Yep.
I feel like it is very emblematic. It just shows that there is no kind of like miracle drug.
No.
Even as much as amazing as Ozempic and these drugs are, there's no miracle drug. And I'm not just talking about weight loss.
Yeah.
But the truth is the truth that to like have positivity or have, good things come in your life, to be at the weight you want, you can't just do it when it's convenient.
No.
You have to establish these good habits. And this is something that like we're all susceptible to.
Yeah.
It's not just like with weight loss. Oh, like eating healthy every single day, working out all the time. That's a lot of work. I want to eat Cheetos is always what I think. But if you want to get that weight off and like actually stay at that weight, you've got to like establish the habit of eating healthy more often than not. If you want to, like with money, we said here on the show, you can't budget your way out of poverty. But if you want to actually like be, have money for stuff over time, you have to make that choice over and over again, not just one day put a bunch of money away and like forget it. You know what I mean? You got to make smarter choices with your money every single day.
Yeah.
This is how life works. And it's true with a relationship with God too. I think some people just ignore that, or some people think I'll check in with God when it's convenient for me, when I really need something. It's a one-time thing of like, hey, Jesus, here I am. But the best results you're going to get is if you check in with God and have that relationship every single day. When you make a habit of it and have God influencing your choices that you make every single day, you're going to see better results.
Absolutely. All this reminds me of talking about Ozempic, talking about finances, is like we are in a culture that worships instant gratification. We want things to be instantaneous. We want that miracle drug. We want that $1 billion Powerball to change our lives instantly. But it's like, that's not really how life works. That's all very temporary. As soon as you take that money away, it's like, well, what truly matters in your life? Or as soon as you take away that drug, that weight comes back. So like, did that really even help you in the first place at all? You know? And so I think that's absolutely so important, is to focus on the things that truly matter in this life, not the temporary. It's not that we can't change our situation or can't focus on our finances, can't focus on weight and our health. Those are all important things to focus on too, but don't elevate them to the place of where, God should be, or where a relationship with family and friends should be. These are all very temporary things. And unfortunately, as much as the world makes you think you can have some type of instant snap your fingers and things are better, that's really not the case most of the time.
Yeah. It's something that like you have to choose it every single day, and that's hard, and nobody does that. At least not in every single aspect.
Yeah.
Maybe some people can do it every single day with food and with their diet, but with other things, it's they can't.
Yeah.
And so it's not easy.
You have to train yourself.
Yeah, you definitely do. But it starts. You're going to have a lot of success when you just start talking to God every day, and that will not just improve that aspect of your life, of your spiritual health, but it's going to actually probably influence so many other areas of your life as well when you start making the habit of doing the right thing more often than not. If you want to know what that's like, hey, it's as simple as saying, hey, Jesus, I want that now. Like, I'm checking in with you now, and I'm going to check in with you again and again and again and see what the results are. I think you'll be really impressed. If you want to know more, RadioU.com/free gift. This is the most wonderful time of the year. Playoff football. The NFL playoffs get underway tomorrow. 6 games between Saturday and Monday night. And I think all of them should be interesting, but 8772-RADIO-U. I want to know what you think the most interesting, compelling game of the weekend is. I also want to know if people can text in at 8772-RADIO-U. If your team is out, who are you rooting for or against in the playoffs? Allie, first question. What's the best game this weekend?
Oh, man, that's so hard to pick. There's a lot of games I have a lot of interest in, and I'm hoping to watch. I think the games that I think will probably be... Okay, one game that I think is going to be pretty close, and I'm excited to see who comes out on top, Houston and Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on the weekend, it's Monday.
Yeah, Monday night.
But I have a lot of eyes on that game. And then also I have a lot of eyes on like the Green Bay Chicago game.
I mean, yeah, Green Bay Chicago rivalry game in the playoffs. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
So those are obviously, for my rooting interest, those are the 2 big games.
Yeah. But
I also do feel like Bears Packers has a chance to be like an all-time game,
Oh, absolutely.
When you get a rivalry game like that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It just makes it a lot of fun. The other one is, to me, is Jaguars Bills, because it's a real coin flip of a game.
Yeah.
And both, like, for all of the criticism or just like writing off that Trevor Lawrence has got, if he gets another playoff win and he does it over Josh Allen,
that'd be crazy.
Yeah, you got to kind of start to think of him, and I think in a different way.
Yeah.
I will say, I've heard a lot of people like all over Twitter and stuff that being like, this is do or die for Josh Allen. Like there's no excuses. And I'm like, do or die for Josh Allen? Like, what are they going to do? Get rid of him?
Yeah, I was going to say, they're a 12-win team, guys.
And he scores... Every playoff game, he scores 28 points. It's never him that's the problem.
Yeah.
He got up on the Chiefs with 13 seconds left to go.
Right.
It's not do or die for Josh Allen. It's do or die for his dumb coach, Sean McDermott, who, if they lose this game, honestly should be out of there. He's a defensive head coach, and their defense stinks.
Yeah, they definitely need to move on if he can't get it done this year. Which, you asked, like, who am I rooting for this season if my team's not in? Obviously, the Browns didn't make the playoff. So I would say, for me, as an Ohio State fan, I love to see my Ohio State guys have success. So C.J. Stroud, I love Henderson over at New England. And then I chose the Bills to win the Super Bowl. So I'm hoping that they do beat Jacksonville.
Have you updated your Super Bowl picks at all? You had the Bills and Eagles at the beginning of the year.
I had the Bills and Eagles. They're still alive, so I'm not updating anything.
And I had the Packers and Steelers at the beginning of the year.
They're both alive.
Yeah, so we did pretty good. Neither of us picked the Chiefs.
Yeah.
We avoided that landmine.
Woo! People were calling us crazy.
I know. The Instagram comments on me having the Steelers in the Super Bowl were outrageous. And still, they're not necessarily the favorite in the AFC, but come on.
Did you pick them as your champ?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But tell me that with that defense, with TJ Watt and Cam Hayward and with Mike Tomlin as coach and Aaron Rodgers in the AFC the way it is this year, you're telling me they can't make the Super Bowl? Come on.
I mean, as a Buckeye fan, I love Cam Hayward.
Yeah.
That guy has had an amazing career. And so I agree with you. Their defense is great. And you have the clutch factor when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. That should be a very, very fun game on Monday.
Experience. He's got more Super Bowl wins than any other quarterback in the AFC. Am I right?
I think so.
I think that bodes well in his favor. But I do want to know, though, again, 8772-RADIO-U, the NFL playoffs. If your team's not in it, who are you rooting for or against?
Yeah.
Imagine finding out your husband's hair was a lie after the wedding.
What?
8772 Radio U. Apparently this just happened.
This is genuinely making me laugh so much.
In India, a woman has filed a police complaint, which I love.
A police complaint?
Excuse me, officer. My husband is bald. She's filed.
I have been deceived.
Yeah, she's filed this is a crime. She's filed a police complaint against her husband and his family.
Whew.
They're all guilty by association, claiming that she was duped before her marriage to this man in 2024. She says her husband claimed to have thick hair, but was actually bald and wearing a wig. Something that she says was never disclosed prior to the marriage. She also alleges that his education and income were misrepresented as well, and that after the marriage, things did get worse, including escalating into abuse.
Oh, no.
Maybe lead with that instead of he was bald and he didn't tell me.
I was going to say, I think I now understand why she's filing a police report, and it's no longer funny if it's an assault.
If that is true. Also, she claims that he might have pressured her to smuggle marijuana.
What? What is this marriage? This guy's crazy.
Yeah, this is actually insane, but it is like just complain about the things that are actually like crimes, you know?
Maybe the hair is less important, but I guess she's just she's building a case here.
Yeah.
This is what we need to know, Hudson. She's building a case against this guy and his family. They have been deceivers from the very beginning, not only lying about the hair, but lying about this guy's attitude because actually he's abusive and he's not making as much money. This is a fraud. This is a scam.
Yeah, this is the opposite of a character witness. This is like she's bringing down his character. What if you're willing to believe this man would lie about having hair? Yeah. Would you be willing to believe that he also abused me? Like you're really actually
like
maybe it was constructed
are
well.
all showing that he's a big liar too. So this is interesting too because it's like in Indian culture, arranged marriages are still very common.
Right.
And so what I imagine probably happened here is like. He was really, sold by his own family to her family as like this great guy. Look at his great hair. Look at his, look at all this money he makes. He's got a great job and all of this stuff. And it turns out to all be a lie. Yeah. So like her family has to be so mad.
Even if the marriages are arranged and that's like the culture, you still want to know what you're getting into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like for real before you wind up getting into it. Okay, leaving aside the obvious like horrible stuff of abuse, talking about wigs. At what point how many dates in do you tell your partner
this is actually a wig?
that I'm bald? How far into it?
Well, again, they probably weren't going on dates. Yeah. But I would say like first date, you gotta let them know.
But you can still wear a wig.
You can, if you want to. You can still wear
to keep up appearances if you want, like just with random strangers.
Yeah.
But it's somebody romantically involved. You got to let them know right off the top.
You got to let them know. Come on. But also, just why wear a wig? Like, why? Like, if I say, if you're bald, be proud of it. Yeah.
I don't know. I've thought about this a lot because it's not a fear, but it's a concern of mine.
Yeah, I know for guys, it's a lot more of a reality.
But, I mean, I've said this before. I would just embrace the bald. Like, once I start to get a bald spot, I do not want to be the person hanging on.
Yeah, like combing over your hair.
Yeah, trying to hide it. I just want to get it over with. I'll just be bald Hudson. Baldson.
I mean, you wear a hat so much, like, no one would really see it.
I could get away with it, but, like, once it becomes where anybody could ever notice, it's just, like, just rip the Band-Aid off. Just do it. And, why wear a wig? Just be honest about it.
Just be honest.
Especially with somebody you're dating.
Yeah. Or marrying.
If they're going to leave you, they'll probably leave you either whether you tell them on the first date or once you're already married. Well, and I feel like she would have still been upset even if she wasn't abused.
Yeah, but like also if the hair is like a deal breaker in a relationship, like because he's bald, that's a deal breaker. You need to know that now.
Right.
Like get that out of the way early.
Exactly.
That's pretty superficial of them.
Get your popcorn ready. It's our Friday tradition, the weekend watch list, letting you know which movies are new that you could be watching in theaters and at home this weekend. Let's start with Greenland 2, Migration, starring Gerard Butler. In the aftermath of a comet strike that decimated most of the planet, the Garrity family must leave the safety of their Greenland bunker to traverse a shattered world in search of a new home.
Ooh.
Greenland 2 Migration is now in theaters. It has a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Derek Smith of Slant Magazine says Greenland 2 plays out as a much more generic thriller than its predecessor. Can I be real with you right now?
Yeah.
I have no idea that there was a Greenland 1.
I didn't either.
I'm like, I never heard about this.
I've never heard of this.
Where is it streaming? When did it come out? How
Apparently
many years
it's on
ago?
HBO Max, which I have that.
Yeah, I do
I have
too.
not seen this one time advertised to me.
I've seen the trailers or like the commercials for Greenland 2 several times.
Okay.
And every time I'm like, but what about Greenland 1?
Where was Greenland 1?
Was I in a coma when that came out? Like, what is Greenland 1?
King Bach is in this movie.
Wow.
In the first one.
Okay.
What the heck?
Interesting, too. A movie about Greenland coming out right now. Also in theaters this weekend, Primate. I've seen a trailer or two for this one as well. Primate. Lucy's tropical island homecoming turns deadly when her family's clever chimpanzee Ben becomes rabid. With her father away and no help coming, paradise becomes a prison as Lucy and her friends fight for survival against a pet they once trusted.
Uh-oh.
Primate is now in theaters. It has a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So is this like a horror thriller?
Yes. Sarah Michelle Fetters of MovieFreak.com says, my stomach twisted in a series of knots that remained there long after the film concluded. The trailer looks kind of frightening.
I need to see this trailer. I didn't even know this movie was coming out.
I also see the still of the chimpanzee and it looks so fake. So, but I wasn't thinking that when I saw the trailer. So hopefully it's better when it's actually moving. Finally, if you want to stay home and watch something this weekend, People We Meet on Vacation is out this weekend. Poppy wants to explore the world, and Alex prefers to stay home with a good book. But somehow they are the best of friends. They live far apart, but for a decade they have spent 1 week of summer vacation together. People We Meet on Vacation is now on Netflix, and it has a 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. Gabriel Gasinger of Digital Spy says you won't cry bucket loads, but you'll end the movie feeling buoyed by the beautiful places and beautiful people and an escape into a world in which the painful process of falling in love does end actually in happiness.
That's nice.
This is based off of a book by somebody. Allie, have you ever heard of Emily Henry? You read books.
I have not.
Because that
romance isn't usually what I go for.
Okay.
So I don't usually read romance books.
So you never even heard of it?
Nope.
Interesting. All right. Well, that's what's out this weekend. Also, Tron Ares is now on Disney+.
I will not be watching that.
No, definitely not. Let us know what you'll be watching this weekend. 877-2-RADIO-U. We always like to see your reviews. What do you think you'll be watching this weekend? Just football or any movies squeaking in there?
I'm going to be watching the rest of the episodes that have come out for Fallout, which is on Prime for season 2. I think there's 4 episodes out so far now, and I just started season 2 and already loving it.
Report back.
Yes.
Report back on Monday when we do the box office breakdown. I don't know if I'll get to this weekend, but number 1 on my list is on HBO Max, One Battle After Another.
Yes, every time I open HBO Max, it keeps popping up. Yep. I'm like, I'm not ready to watch
it yet. It's on my watch list, and I'm just like, when will I have 2.5 hours?
Exactly. It's so long.
Because it is long. That's your weekend watch list. We'll see you at the movies.
Thanks for listening to the RadioU podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.